This is Morten from English TV again. I have the pleasure of talking to Hans from Canon again.
Hi, Morten.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Hans, I would like to talk to you about, because I mean, we have been here for the most of the day and we've been talking to both you and your colleagues about how wonderful digital print is. We have also spoken to Cindy that it requires new thinking to go into continuous feed if you come from the offset world. Why is that a challenge for some people?
It is a technology change, and with that technology change, many interim process steps need to be looked at as well. So it's not a one-by-one replacement of one printer by the other. It is really to look beyond into pre-press and post-press, and even further, how you actually acquire jobs towards how you actually get them delivered. So it is more than just replacing one step in the chain.
The reason I'm asking is because, I mean, we've spoken to Sven about color management and workflow, and that seems very aligned with how you do it in other technologies. We've seen print samples presented by Cindy, wonderful. I mean, looks same or better than many of the offset jobs you see. And then at the same time, we understand that the printers can, print thousands of unique jobs. And I was thinking that in order to do that, in today, many printing companies, they have sales reps that are visiting customers, getting orders, delivering to the project managers, printing the jobs, invoicing them maybe thousands of euros for a job. But that needs to change because the volume of jobs is decreasing, right?
Exactly, and if you continue to see all those different steps in that value chain as independent cost centers, and you don't look into optimizing all of those, then it's difficult. And you could just replace one step in the chain and then continue with all the others, but in the end, it probably won't pay off. So once you look into aligning and optimizing those steps in between, for example, optimizing production runs and putting jobs in the queue that all run with the same papers. So very straightforward process optimization steps. You can then benefit from less paper changeovers, higher uptime, etc. So yeah, once you look into those steps and then optimize to then have a better fit one for the other, then there is a lot of potential.
So that is very much on the production side. But if I understand you correctly, is that to some extent like streamlining the type of products you produce. So for example, let's say that if you today make, let's say a customer magazine that is printed on 10 different types of paper, if it could be printed on one type of paper, that of course will streamline the process because you can print all 10 magazines in one go, basically, right? And that's one example, right?
Exactly. That's the one important example that, especially in continuous feed, when you print on web, that's the first one everybody starts looking into, and there are many more. And especially when looking from the amount of different jobs, I mean, paper is one, finishing is the other. So optimizing downstream systems. You mentioned sales, and sales obviously needs to evolve from a print service provider's point of view quite dramatically, as we are not selling volumes, but really sell value of certain applications. And by that, the customer group grows much bigger. If you think of a standardized approach, or where you have then through web interface a lot of incoming orders, or if you have key account management where you then need to also bring in some additional value for those individual customers.
And I take when you say, for example, the key account management, that could be like, instead of selling a print job, you basically sell contracts, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, I don't know if you saw that, but there was a press release just a few days ago that the Norwegian-based Gelato is now making a product called Gelato Connect. And I guess that is like we see Cloud Printer, like we see Ingram, like we see Amazon. There's a huge interest in the market for connecting even the physical printers, the good old-fashioned printers with all the online services. Is that something you do? I mean, you see many more customers than I do, but do you see also an interest from the printing side to move into these online services?
I I think that that is a trend that we will be seeing also in the coming years. And when looking into distributed print networks, which are already out since many, many years, and now with the additional opportunities that there are, with inkjet providing such high quality and reliable print, digital print on a high volume is suddenly something that is relevant for many more applications than statements and books. And for those environments, and we see that also especially in the online printers, where you go online and order and you don't really know where it is printed, they may optimize themselves also for more regional or local print production to then reduce also their carbon footprint. And by that, I believe distributed print networks or aligning across different countries will definitely see some growth.
When we spoke also before we turned on the camera that let's say a key account or account-based printing company of the, let's say the ones that are the majority of today, when they face declining volumes and needs to face more customer, the cost for acquisition cost is of course increasing because the order size is getting smaller. But do you think there is a potential for these companies that because they get connected online, that they will have maybe, that will be, I was just about to say save the industry because that forces them at some point to move into digital, or?
Well, it depends on the growth strategy of all those individual companies. Going online and by that opening up for a larger potential customer base is one route. And then the question is on how do they differentiate against other competitors which may already be there, which may offer similar services. And here it is important to focus on gaining efficiency or improving the efficiencies in order to gain some margins to then invest into new services, look into higher value applications. So things that they can use to then differentiate, and whether it is key account management as such, to have a close link to print buyers and to be close to their individual needs and then react upon. I think that's an important element and is all based on a strategic direction, whether you want to go down, be a cost leader or differentiate through value-added services and gain that by seamlessly integrating into workflows.
But you can of course argue that with what you just said, that basically if you are aligned to, let's say, the online volume-based copies of one or few, right? Then you need to have a more streamlined, automated, and maybe I was just about to say same level as your competitors, where if you stay alone and by yourself, you can have a differentiated product. I mean, basically what I hear you saying is that there will be printing companies that moves into the more, let's say, streamlined online market, and there will be printing companies that need to specialize in order to survive, and maybe the gray in the middle will kind of disappear, right?
Yes, correct. And this is something that probably from both sides they want to grow into that middle market, and it remains to be seen on how this divide or stay an autonomous or individual group of print service providers.
Yeah. Obviously, a company like Canon, you work with, of course, both transactional printers, online printers, commercial printers, book print. I mean, you serve practically all markets. Is there any particular market where you see the biggest growth in digital right now?
I think the largest is books, and I believe this one will also continue to grow. And this grows already from a reasonably large base. So I believe this trend is here to stay and then to also be much stronger. I personally believe that in the segment of communication or promotional communication, where we see more and more online and offline, so digital communication through social media, through web, through email conversations, to printed communication, either direct mail, brochures, or other means. I think that is becoming more and more attractive and will grow more and more.
Like the beautiful samples we saw where you have like postcards, self-mailers, and things that are really unique to the consumer's need, right?
Exactly, and especially when they are integrated in online communication, through completely automating the process from not only the production, but really to acquisition, to lead generation, and then following up with a physical mail. I think that's something that especially the print buyers, the marketeers, the brands will take off, because here the value of print comes along, the great reach of online communication. And I believe that's something where we see a lot of momentum.
Isn't that just nice?
Exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you, Hans.
Thanks, Martin.